He walked slowly, almost blending into the hum of everyday life. His cap was pulled low over eyes that had seen too much. To the casual observer, he was just another shopper navigating the aisles of Walmart. But for those paying attention, there was a weight in his step, a quiet gravity that spoke of battles fought far from home, battles that never quite left him. John Miller, 72, is a war veteran, not the kind celebrated with parades or headlines, but the kind whose heroism hides in silence. After serving 2 tours overseas decades ago, John returned home carrying memories heavier than any duffel bag. He fought to adjust, to find a place in a world that moved on without him, and to feel at peace in a country he had once defended with every ounce of his being. On this particular day, John had walked into Walmart not for glory, but for something simple: groceries. As he wandered the aisles, his cane tapping softly on the floor, store employees initially thought of him as just another elderly customer. But then something remarkable began to unfold, a story that would touch hearts across the community. It started when a young cashier, Emily, noticed him hesitating at the checkout line. He had only picked up a few essentials, but his hands trembled slightly as he fumbled with his wallet. Emily offered a warm smile and asked if he needed any assistance. John, usually reserved and cautious around strangers, found himself sharing a brief, almost imperceptible smile in return. It was a small moment, but for someone who had spent years fighting wars, it was enough to crack open a door long closed. Emily's curiosity gently broke through John's stoic exterior. They began talking, and not just about groceries, but about life, family, and sacrifice. John revealed that he had no family nearby and had been living alone since his wife passed several years ago. He spoke carefully about the loneliness that weighed on him, the nights filled with memories that refused to let him sleep, and the quiet moments when the world felt unbearably heavy. Moved by his story, Emily reached out to the store manager, who helped organize a small gesture that would change John's diet and perhaps his outlook on life. They decided to cover his groceries and arrange a few days' worth of meals, along with a handwritten note signed by store staff: "Thank you for your service. You are not forgotten." When John realized what had happened, his eyes welled up. He had been invisible for so long, a ghost walking through a world that seemed indifferent to his sacrifices. But in that moment, surrounded by strangers who cared enough to act, he felt seen, recognized, and valued. But the story didn't end there. Inspired by John's courage and Emily's compassion, the local community rallied. Word spread on social media, and soon volunteers from nearby neighborhoods were visiting John, helping him with chores, sharing meals, and even inviting him to community events. For the first time in decades, he felt the warmth of connection, the kind that can heal even the most persistent scars. John's story is a reminder that heroism isn't always loud. It doesn't always come with medals or headlines. Sometimes, it arrives quietly, in the form of a veteran navigating the aisles of Walmart. And sometimes, the heroism lies not only in those who served, but in those who notice, reach out, and remind someone that they matter. By the end of that week, John was no longer just a quiet figure in the background. He was a symbol of resilience, and his story became a testament to the power of kindness. A simple act, a grocery aisle conversation, a small gesture of care rekindled a spark that had long been dimmed. And in doing so, it reminded an entire community of something timeless: that compassion can bridge the gaps left by life's battles, and that even the quietest voices deserve to be heard. John Miller continues to visit Walmart regularly, not just for groceries, but to connect with people who now call him friend. His walk may still be slow, and his past may always carry weight, but his heart has found a home in unexpected places. And for all who know his story, it serves as a powerful lesson. Sometimes, the world's smallest gestures can leave the deepest impact.